Got out on the Potomac River just a little later than I'd like to that day. I had to make the drive up from Virginia. It's about 3 hours for me. Got the small wooden put in. Decided to run over to a bit of a community hole where I knew there'd be some grass, so at least start the day and try to at least figure out what they'd be eating. Not necessarily going to be my plan for the entire day or the weekend, but just wanted to go and see what was happening here, and got into some fish pretty quickly on a black and blue chatterbait. First fish of the day on the chatterbait, away from the crowd. It's not a bad little fish. Not what we're looking for, but you know, where there's one, there's usually more, so we're gonna keep fishing here. I like it when they'll eat a chatterbait too. Little guy. Healthy though. Red lips. Man, maybe I need to be more gentle. There were quite a few boats here, even though you can't see them on the camera. That wide angle really makes it look like things that are far away are a lot farther than they actually are. But there's a pretty solid group of 6 or 7 boats off to my right in the distance, and then off camera further to the right. But the grass here is just really good. Lots of good milfoil. Not as much hydrilla as milfoil as you might expect if you know anything about SAV or submergent aquatic vegetation. Milfoil pretty much stays all winter. You know, stalks will die off and create mats and all of that, but the bases stay there, whereas the hydrilla, I think it's just the roots that go. So milfoil comes up first, and then eventually the hydrilla will come in. So we're still waiting on that to happen. Got quiet. That's a much better fish. Hooked in the side of the mouth for the second time. We got quite a few boats around. It's a male. It's about 2 3/4 pounds. Pretty close to what we're looking for. Alright, we're gonna get her back. Nobody needs to see that. So I'm sure somebody's probably wondering why I'm continuing to fish for these fish in this spot and hooking them all before a tournament. But the reality is that most of these fish aren't really going to help. Bags in the spring usually, 16 to 20 pounds, and these fish aren't over 3 pounds, which doesn't really meet the average fish size requirement that I'm going to need for Saturday. So I'm just going to keep going through them and seeing if I can find bigger fish. Pretty much impossible to tell from the video, but I'm trying to keep that chatterbait down pretty low in the grass, really on the bottom. It's pretty sparse stalks of milfoil. It's not bad, but I felt like keeping it down low on the bottom. That's how it's getting bit. Anything faster wasn't really getting the job done. Not as big as I thought. It just looked kind of funny. It's got an interesting pattern to it. Everybody starts moving over. It's not even a big fish. Look at the coloration on that guy, though. Let's say we found some fish here. If we find a bigger fish, I won't go.
What do you say we make a run?
I think that's a wonderful idea. Should have left that one. That's a big fish. Golly. flipping 5-pounders.
Or 4-pounders.
And there's some dude watching, as always. Yeah, that's all right. On the baby destroyer. Yeah. We don't need to wait. We know this one's a good one. Yeah, nice. Yep, little 3-aught hook, 1/2 ounce weight. Just dragging. Was talking to George and saying he was saying we should probably make him a run. I said I agree, and then slam. So yeah, just I mean, it's all mangled now, but green pumpkin flash.
As you probably could tell in the video, the water clarity got a little bit better over here, which is usually indicative of there being grass. So we decided to stop and fish this spot for a little bit and see what we could do.
I was driving slow like that because I was looking for grass. You could see it going like 30, 35 on your 2D. That way you don't gotta side image and drive slow to find grass. I did not find any that way. I knew there was some here from last year. And I love the color of the water here. Yep. Pig.
Yeah, as soon as you threw your bait, I seen it.
God dang, dude. I'd have a good bag right now. Another hog. Well, that means I'm catching that means I'm catching like 3 fish for 6 pounds on Saturday. That's a good 3-pounder. Let's get a measurement. 3 pounds, 4 ounces. I was close. Oh, 5. Where'd it lock in? 4. 3, 4. All right. Later, homie. Look at that tail. Yeah. That's a big male, dude. Peeing. Oh, yeah. You gonna do the thing? There you go.
There is some good grass.
Yeah, man.
This was pretty crazy, and you got to be kind of careful on the Potomac. After all the rains we had up north of them, all the debris fields washed down, big trees across the river. It's pretty dangerous stuff. Yeah, you got them all right.
Well, clam, oyster, whatever that is. Right on the hook too. You ever had that happen? Let me know.
So there were some other things that I tried that didn't quite pan out. I figured that since the grass really wasn't in that great, that they might be on some hardcover and form of docks here. Tide wasn't quite right for it. I already started coming in, and I don't know about anybody else, but I do best on the outside dock posts when the tide is low or coming down, and as soon as that tide starts moving in, the fish seem to disappear. Also flipped some pads. Didn't really put as much time into it this day. That'll be more to come in the next video, but just figured it'd be worth showing some of the things that I did that weren't successful instead of just showing one cast with a catch on the end. But grass bite was definitely on today, and even though we're only out for probably about 6 hours, it did pretty decent. At least a good starting point for the weekend.
Overall, a good day. Caught them in the grass. Not a ton of grass on the Potomac right now, which is really strange for it being May, but we did have a harsh winter, so we're gonna keep looking for them tomorrow and see if we can find more big fish. I feel like we found pretty good sized fish. We didn't get into any 5 or 6 pound fish, which
Don't really want to hook any of those right now. It'd be cool, but we'll save those for Saturday. So I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.